Hey everyone, welcome back to another CollectA review. Today we're taking a look at their Beishanlong. Right now I don't have a lot of new figures to review, so during this downtime I like to go back and take a look at some of the older figures because every day we have new people joining our fine hobby of collecting dinosaur figures, so it's always nice to go back and appreciate some of the fantastic figures we've gotten in the past. So getting back to this beautiful Beishanlong from CollectA, Beishanlong is a primitive ornithomimid from the early Cretaceous of China. And speaking of ornithomimids, they are just woefully underrepresented by most dinosaur companies. You barely see any ornithomimid in any dinosaur company's toy line, with maybe the exception of Mattel, who has made maybe like 1 billion Gallimimus repaints. So I'm very happy CollectA decided to give us a beautiful representation of one of its largest member in this Beishanlong. This figure is sculpted in a standard walking pose. As you can see, it is mounted on a base. Unfortunately, you cannot remove this figure from its base, but why would you want to? Because the way this figure is posed, there's no way it would be able to stand without the base. Typically when we get, freestanding bipedal figures, the feet tend to be a little bit oversized. So the bonus of having a figure mounted on the base, the feet do not look oversized at all. And let's just pull it in really close so you can get a closer look at the base. The base isn't anything special. It's just a standard light brown color. This is a 2016 release. The last couple of years, CollectA has been releasing figures with much more detailed bases. The only real detail on here is just a couple plants that are not painted in, but other than that, the base definitely serves its purpose by keeping this figure nice and stable. CollectA seems to have taken inspiration from the secretary bird for the color scheme on this Beishanlong. The head is done in a bright yellow with a little bit of orange and bright red in there, and then the rest of the body is a light gray color with a white wash over it. And then when you get to about the midsection, you have some nice black coloration, and it goes back to light gray and darks mixing in all along the table. So this secretary bird color scheme definitely really works for this Beishanlong. I really like the color scheme on this figure. So let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with the head. Now, no skull material from Beishanlong has been discovered. Ornithomimids are known for having their toothless beaks, but some of the earlier primitive members did have teeth in their mouth, and CollectA has decided to add teeth to their Beishanlong, since Beishanlong is also a earlier primitive ornithomimid. Like you see, the head is painted in bright yellow, and it slowly goes to a brighter orange. You have some bright red on top of the head right here. The entire eye is painted in black. It's kind of a glossy black to give it that wet look. I would much prefer if there was an actual pupil in there. This is probably my only nitpick on this figure. I just wish the eye wasn't all black, but from a distance it does make the figure look really cool, so I'll give them that. And then on top of the head right here, you have some really nice plumage painted in black, and then turning the figure around, going down to the neck, you can see a lot of nice mixtures of light and dark grays. I love how CollectA sculpts their feathers. They give a really nice shaggy looking coat. It really makes them look a lot different from other companies that do feathers on their dinosaurs. And going down to the arms, because the arms are sculpted nice and long. You have some beautiful feathers nicely sculpted and painted along the arm right here. And then going down to those very long grasping hands, you can see it goes into a dark yellow with gray claws. Turn the figure over, you can see the stomach is also painted in that light and dark gray. And then we get to right between the legs, it goes into that black coloration that is on the hind legs. Going down to the hind legs, you can see the hind legs are well sculpted with a lot of nice feather detailing. They go into that black coloration. Then when you get to right about here, it goes into that darker yellow with scaly feet, as you would see like on an ostrich. You still got the gray claws on the front feet. Let me focus in on that. I had a little trouble with my new camera. I'm still trying to get used to this iPhone 11. And now going down to the tail, you can see the tail is beautifully sculpted with a lot of that dark and light gray mixed in right here. So all in all, a really nice looking figure from CollectA. You got a little peek behind the curtain right there. All right, let's move on with some comparisons. Like I said, that little figure that comes with the Beishanlong is a little too small and makes it look absolutely gigantic. So here it is with John Hammond from the Mattel Jurassic World line. John should be maybe a little bit smaller to really give you the sense of size of Beishanlong, but I do think those two figures look really nice together. And here it is with another Ornithomimid that CollectA did. Here it is with their Struthiomimus, which is another great figure. I'm going to have to do a review on that one sometime in the future. And here it is with the CollectA Deluxe Dinosaur. I absolutely love this Dinosaur by CollectA. And here's another Dinosaur from Safari Ltd. And got a couple more figures we'll just compare them to. Here's another feathered dinosaur. Here's the brand new Safari Ltd. Feathered Deinonychus. And just a couple more figures. Here it is with the 2019 CollectA Borrella Pelta, which is a fine little figure. CollectA always making new species relatively quickly compared to other companies. And here it is with the 2019 Carnotaurus. I absolutely love this Carnotaurus figure. It actually made my top 10 dinosaur figures of 2019 list. So final thoughts on this figure. I really like this Beishanlong. It is beautifully sculpted. I like the size of this figure. It is a good size figure. I love how CollectA does the feathers on their figures. My only tiny complaint is that the eye is all done in black. But as you can see, you know, it really doesn't look that bad when you look at it. You can see the light reflecting off it. It really gives it a nice lifelike look, but I would much prefer to see a pupil in there. But other than that tiny minor complaint, this is a great figure. I'm so glad when we, you know, once in a blue moon, we do get a nice Ornithomimid figure. I really wish other companies would give that family of dinosaurs, you know, more attention. So hopefully in the future, some other companies will make some more species of Ornithomimids. That'll just make me extremely happy. So I ended up getting this figure a few years ago from Everything Dinosaur. I think it retails for around between like $20 and $25. So I'm going to leave a link in the description if you're outside the US to order from Everything Dinosaur. And if you're inside the US, D. Jenkins does stock a lot of CollectA. I actually just placed a good size order with them. I'm getting some older CollectA models just to round out my collection. So I'll also leave a link to them too, so you can just pick your choice who you want to order from. So that will do it for the review. And like I said, when I have some downtime in between new releases, I'll be going back and looking at older figures from other companies. So I do hope you enjoyed me reviewing a slightly older figure. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.